Okay, today we are going to study about mycorrhiza or otherwise called as the fungal roots. So these mycorrhiza are symbiotic root association. These are the fungal roots which are associated with higher plants. So let's discuss about mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza represent the symbiotic association or mutual benefit with mostly gymnosperm and angiosperm. For example, suppose this is the root of gymnosperm and angiosperm. Got it? So as this root is present, so sometimes what happen, these original plants do have root hairs, and these root hairs is only extended to a particular zone. Got it? So this is a restricted zone. So within this restricted zone, they will extract the food materials. Got it? But here the ample amount of food materials are present here. So they are unable to extract the food materials from outside. So as they are unable to extract the food materials from outside, so they need outside food materials. For that, the what happen? Now these fungi, they helps in providing them food materials from outer zone. So these are the fungal roots. So these fungal roots get associated, symbiotic associated with these plants, higher plants, and they provide. So these are the fungal roots. These are the fungal roots. So these fungal roots provide nutrition, ample amount of nutrition, phosphorus, nitrogen, minerals, etc. And in return, what happen? Now they extract, and in return they extract the food materials from the plant. So in return, they get the food materials from the plant. So by mutual benefit, both the higher plants and the fungal roots are benefited, and this type of association is called as symbiotic association, and this type of root present in fungi is called as mycorrhiza roots. Got it clear? So normally what happens, now these fungal roots, they will provide nutrition, minerals from outside the zone of the plants, because these plants, some plants and gymnosperm, they don't have so much of root extension. Got it clear? So in return, they will get the starch or the food materials from the plant. So by this association, plant gets the minerals, the elements needed for its development, and in return, fungal gets the nourishment from the plant. So this type of association is called as symbiotic association. Got it? So let's move. So now we know that the mutual benefit of the symbiotic association of fungus with the roots of higher plants is termed as mycorrhiza. So this type of association by the fungal roots, by the fungal hypha or the fungal rhizoids with that of higher plants with symbiotic and is called as mycorrhiza. This condition is called as mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza roots differ from normal roots, and often they show a woody covering present around it. Yes, definitely. Suppose these are the hypha present. So normally these are the hyphal type of roots present. And these hyphal type of root, they do contains an woody association. So on the external part we find a normally what? A woody covering is present. Here we find a woody covering. So this type of root is modified to provide symbiotic association, and they have a woody covering on it. And these hypha, these are called as mycorrhiza hypha. These are mycorrhizal hypha. And these mycorrhizal hypha, they develop into roots. And these roots are benefited to higher plants by providing nourishment. So for that, they need high protection, and they have a woody-like appearance. Got it clear? Now let's move. So these roots lack root cap. Yes, the mycorrhizal roots, they don't have the root cap. The root don't have root cap. Suppose this is the mycorrhizal roots. So these mycorrhizal roots, suppose I have extended the roots, they don't have the root cap. So no root cap is present. Normally root means they must have a cap, but here the mycorrhizal roots, they don't have a root cap. And also it is found that the fungus may get associated with the roots of number of plants, like mostly angiosperm and gymnosperm are the basic plants. A particular plants may get associated with the number of fungi. Yes, that doesn't mean that only all gymnosperm, all angiosperm. No, some gymnosperm plants, some angiosperm plants, those plants, they don't have the maximum extension of root hairs to extend outside the zone. So these group of plants having small root hairs, having only restricted zone for extraction of food materials, they get the association, from the fungus. So not all group of angiosperm or all group of gymnosperm. Some associated particular plants get this benefit. So depending upon the location of the fungus, the mycorrhiza is of two types. One is called as ectomycorrhizal, another one is called as endomycorrhizal. So we'll study one by one. What is ecto and what is endo? Let's move. So in ectomycorrhizal roots, the fungus hyphae mainly external. For example, suppose this is the plant. This is the root plants. This is the plant. This is the plant root. Got it? So in ectomycorrhizal, what happens? Now normally we find that the fungal associations are always present at the outside. And they outside they form a network. They form a network of hyphae. So these fungi, they form a network of hyphae. And this network of hyphae is called as ectomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza. Got it? So this association is called as what? An external association. This is an external condition of association. So it is only present outside, and by diffusion it release the minerals and all these things to the plants, and in return they extract the food materials from the plant by the process of diffusion. So if the fungal mycorrhiza are present outside the plant roots and externally they helps in absorbing the food metals without penetrating its hyphae into the cortex of the root, then this type of mycorrhiza is called as Ectomycorrhizal Association. Got it? So now we find some, so they form a woody covering on the external surface of the root, just now we have discussed. So for example, this is the primary root mycorrhiza, but this is a primary root present, and here what we find that these are the mycorrhizal roots present. So these are the mycorrhizal association. These are the mycorrhizal associations present. These are the mycorrhizal association. These are the mycorrhizal association present. These are the mycorrhizal association present. And this is the main taproot. This is the main taproot, the taproot, and these are present outside. Outside, some are present outside, and this is external. If they penetrate into it, if they penetrate into the cortex, the cell wall, then it is called an endo. But if they are present outside, they are called as ecto. So this type of association is found to be present as mycorrhizal root association. Got it clear? So let's move. So they form a network called Hartig net in the intercellular space of the cortex. So this condition is found in endo. In endomycorrhizal root, we find a net-like structure present Hartig in the intercellular space of the cortex. Suppose this is the main root present, and we find the main root, what we find, this is the epidermis present or epiblema, and here we find the cortex present. Got it? So normally when we find the fungal association do takes place. So normally what happened, these fungal association, they form a network, and the networks of form external is called as Hartig net. Suppose this is the Hartig net present. So this net is called as Hartig net. Got it? And these Hartig net, they produce hyphae penetrating the cell wall, and they form extension within the intercellular space of the cortex. So this type of network is called as Hartig net, and they penetrate the cell wall, they breaks the cell wall, and in the cortical region, we find the intra and intercellular networks are present. Got it clear? So this type is found mostly in endomycorrhiza, and this is found mostly in the basidiomycetes. The best example, which fungi forms mycorrhizal roots, that is basidiomycetes, like Boletus. So Boletus is a type of basidiomycetes that form fungal partner, that form mycorrhiza. So this mycorrhiza is formed by this particular basidiomycetes. Pinus roots shows ectomycorrhiza. Yes, Pinus is the best example where this basidiomycetes is found to be present inside Pinus. But in endomycorrhiza, the hyphae enters the tissue of the root, just I have told, into the intercellular and intercellulary conditions. The fungus break the cell wall, in a limited way, and the fungus hyper restricted to the cortical zones as we have discussed. Suppose this is the epiblema or epidermis, and this is the inner zone, this is the inner zone, and this part is the cortex. Suppose this part is the cortex. Got it? So here what we find that these mycorrhiza will penetrate the cell wall and move into it. They penetrate the cell wall and move into it. And this type of association is called as endo. This is intercalary, this is called endo. And inside the cortical region, this is the cortical region. So inside the cortical region, this mycorrhizal forms. And what happens when the hypha penetrates, they form a swelling like structure. This finger like swelling like structure. So inside the cortex, we find this finger like swelling like structures are present inside the cortex. So this is called as VAM. This association is called VAM. Vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza. This swelling present. These are vesicles like form present. It is present internally, introven. So arbuscular, mycorrhiza. So these swellings are called as vesicles like structure present. And these vesicles structure present from the cortical region, they extract the food materials, but from the plants, and in return they provide the nutrients to the plant. Got it clear? So this is how the fungal endomycorrhizal go. So some hyphae send small projection into the cortical cells without destroying them. Yes. Suppose this is the cortical cells. For example, this is the cortical cells, cortex. Got it? And here what will happen? Now these mycorrhiza, they form this arbuscular region. Without destroying, they form this arbuscular region. And from this VAM, without destroying the cortex, these VAM extract the food materials, and in return, they provide the nutrients to the plants. So this is how the condition works. So such fungal are termed as VAM. Such type is called as VAM. Yes. So entering into the cortex but not destroying the cortical cells, but present on the one inner part of the cortex in the form of vesicles like structure. This vesicles like structure. So these vesicles are called as VAM, or it is called as vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza. The VAM is called as vesicular because they form vesicles, arbuscular present within it, and these are the special type of mycorrhiza found to be formed. The fungal partner obtains nourishment from the cortical cells of the root. Yes, the cell, the main plant, they provide nutrition to the cortical cells, provide nourishment to the developing mycorrhiza, like they provide sugar ingredients to the fungal hypha. Got it? So mostly the starch or sugars are extracted by the fungal hypha. Got it? The fungal hypha extract sugar or starch from the higher plants, from the intercellular spaces. The hypha get nourishment from the cells directly. The fungus seems to be essential for the growth of the plant of mycorrhiza. Yes, the fungus is essential for the growth of the plant. Why? Now in return, the fungus mycorrhiza provide plants minerals and other nourishments. Yes, the plant also gets benefited. How the plants gets benefited? They provide this fungus, they absorb the soil nutrients, they absorb the soil minerals, increase the soil surface area for absorption. They increase the absorption because suppose this is the plant root. And what happens? So when these mycorrhizas present network like structure, so what happened? Now normally they increase the surface area. So they increase the surface area, increase the absorption rate. So this is the surface area increased and the absorption rate is highly increased. So as a result, plant will absorb maximum amount of nutrients, minerals from the soil and gets benefited. Clear? So the fungal hypha enables the plant to get water, nitrogen, mostly very important phosphorus and other minerals from the soil. Got it? So the plant growth develops. So by this mutual benefit, the plant is also benefited as well as the fungus is also benefited. And orchids occur without mycorrhiza, seldom without mycorrhiza. Certain forestry like pines, birches show stunted growth if the roots are not associated with fungi. Yes. So certain pinus plants and birches plants, if their roots are not associated with mycorrhiza, then the growth is limited. The growth is seldom, limited. Okay. So this is how we have completed the general character of mycorrhiza. Now we find that these mycorrhiza are the fungal roots that provide symbiotic mutual benefit with angiosperm plants and gymnosperm plant. Not all group of angiosperm, not all group of gymnosperms, those group of gymnosperm angiosperm plants are benefited where the root cells are not extended outside the zone, outside the restricted zone. So these fungal association, they provide the increasing the surface area and helps in absorbing maximum amount of nutrients from the soil, and in return the fungus gets the starch or sugar nourishment from the plants. So this is the main benefit of mycorrhiza or the fungal roots. Now let's discuss about practice questions. Some practice question will go for discussion and you will get more practice question in our PDF or in our notes. Now let's discuss about the question for number 1, assertion reason. Mycorrhiza association is a symbiotic relationship in which both partners are mutually benefited. Yes, it is right. The fungal partners obtain nourishment from the cortical cells of the root, while the plant benefit. Yes, both are right, and B is the correct explanation. So this one is the right answer. A is true, but R is false. No. Go to second. Consider the following statement questions about mycorrhiza. The first statement is mycorrhiza is a mutual benefit. Yes, is right. Mycorrhiza roots lack root cap and root hairs. Yes, it is right. Mycorrhiza two types, namely ecto and endo. Yes, it is right. In ectomycorrhiza, fungal hyphae mainly internal. This is wrong. Ecto means it is present externally, not internally. So which of the following is correct? Let's move. Yes, 1, 2, 3 are correct. No, no. Statement 2 and 4, no. 1, 4 is wrong. All 4, no. Only 1, 2 right, 4 is wrong answer. Third question. In ectomycorrhiza, the fungal hyphae are mainly internal, no. External, forming a woody covering, yes. They form a woody covering called Hartig nets present outside network of mycelium present intersect the cortex. Restricted only to root hairs, no. Present only inside the vascular tissues. Which of the following example of endomycorrhiza mentioned in the given material? Boletus, yes, it is the best example. Boletus is the best. So example of endomycorrhiza, yes. What is the major benefit to the plant from mycorrhizal association? Mycorrhizal association. The fungus hypersubstance increase the surface area. Yes. Absorption enabling the plant. So this is the right answer. The fungal partner prevents the plant from absorbing water. Means no. The fungal hyphae destroy the current cells of the root. No. The plant provides shelter. No. So this is the right answer. So we have discussed 5 questions. You will get 1000 above questions from our channel or from our study materials, or from you can observe, you can download the study materials, or you can get the PDF or MCQs, or you can get everything from our this particular channel, or you can get the online exam question paper that you can practice the exam here, or you can go for online classes to at this particular site, and you'll get all mind maps, PDFs, worksheets, MCQs at this particular site, or you can DM directly to me, or you get, if you want, if you have Telegram channel, you can join our Telegram channel to get updated notes, materials, recent updated materials. So we have completed mycorrhizal roots, fungal roots, symbiotic root association, that is fungal association with gymnosperm and angiosperm plants. Okay, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you.